Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm sharing something a little special. Books that I recently picked up that I'm super excited about. I know this is different from other videos, but I thought of sharing it with you guys. So, whether you are into self growth, productivity, fiction, or just love the smell of fresh pages, I have got something for you. These aren't just random picks, each one has a reason behind it, and I'll be telling you exactly why they made it to my shelf. So let's get started. First of all, I will give you a tour of my library space. I know it cannot be called as a library since it contains many other items like decorative pieces, a plant, etc. But I wish in future I can add some more books and make it look like a library. So let's dive into the first book. The first book I picked up is Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty, and honestly, this one felt less like a motivational read and more like a quiet conversation with a wise friend. It's not preachy, it doesn't throw fancy spiritual words around, it just reminds you to slow down, breathe, and take a deeper look at what really matters. There were moments where I paused and thought, why don't we learn this stuff in school? Things like how to deal with negativity, how to understand your own mind, and how to detach from things that drain you. The author doesn't claim to have it all figured out, and that's what I appreciated most. It's more like he's walking alongside you, not ahead of you. I wouldn't say it's life changing in a dramatic way, but it plants quite seeds. And over time, those seeds shift how you think, how you act, and how you see the world around you. If you have been feeling mentally cluttered or emotionally stuck, give this one a try. It's not a quick fix, but it's real. Right now, I'm reading a section called The Six Loving Exchanges, and it really made me pause. It talks about what genuine connection means, not just surface level being there for people, but showing love in small, intentional ways, like giving, receiving, listening, and sharing openly. At the end of this book, there is a test, and it's not the kind you stress over, it's the kind that makes you think. If you are in a phase where you are questioning things or you just want to live with more clarity and kindness, this book will speak to you quietly but powerfully. The second book I picked up is Good Vibes, Good Life by Vex King. And to be honest, this book feels like that one friend who tells you what you need to hear, but in the kindest way possible. It is not filled with over the top motivation or complicated concepts. It's simple but not shallow. The author talks about things like self love, energy, boundaries, and mindset in a way that feels real. Like he actually gets what it's like to feel lost, drained, or not enough. One part that really stayed with me is when he says, you cannot control everything, but you can control how you respond. I know that sounds obvious, but when you are in the middle of a chaos or self doubt, reminders like that land differently. This book also helped me realize how much we absorb from our environment, like people, habits, even thoughts we didn't ask for, and how important it is to protect your peace, not with the walls, but with awareness. It's the kind of book I think I'll keep coming back to, not to finish it, but to feel grounded again when life feels heavy. If you're someone who overthinks, or if you're working on healing, or just trying to grow quietly, this book is like a soft nudge in the right direction. The third book is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. This one is not a casual read, it really makes you stop and think about how deeply our thoughts shape our lives. The author mixes neuroscience, quantum physics, and meditation, and somehow makes it all connect to how we live, feel, and behave every single day. One of the biggest takeaways for me so far is this: your personality creates your personal reality. It sounds simple, but it hits hard. Because if you keep thinking, feeling, and acting like the person you have always been, you will keep living the same story. He breaks down how our habits, not just physical ones, but emotional ones too, are wired into our brains. And if we want to change our lives, we have to literally rewire our minds, not with a motivation, but with awareness and daily practice. This book isn't just about thinking positive, it's about becoming conscious of your unconscious self, that version of you that runs on autopilot. It's a challenging read in some parts, but if you stick with it, it starts shifting how you see your own patterns. It's the kind of book that doesn't just give you information, it invites you to transform. The fourth book is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. This one is all about productivity, but in the simplest, most straightforward way possible. No fluff, no fancy hacks, just timeless principles that work. The idea behind the title is actually pretty smart. Eating the frog means tackling your biggest, most important task first, the one you are most likely to procrastinate on. Because once you do that, everything else feels easier. What I liked is how practical it is. Every chapter gives you something specific you can apply right away, whether it is how to plan your day better, avoid distractions, or just stop overthinking and start. It's not trying to be motivational, it's more like here is what works, try it. If you're someone who struggles with focus or always feels like you're busy but not productive, this book is a quick but powerful reset. It's short, you can finish it in a day. The fifth book is The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. This isn't a book about how to get rich. It's a book about how we think about money. And honestly, that's what makes it so powerful. Because money isn't just math, it's emotions, habits, fear, and trust, all rolled into one. The author doesn't throw stats at you, he tells stories, simple, relatable ones that make you realize how personal finance really is. What's right for one person might be completely wrong for someone else, and that's okay. One idea that stayed with me was this: doing well with money has little to do with how smart you are, and a lot to do with how you behave. That line alone shifts something because most of us think we need more knowledge, but what we really need is more awareness. It also made me think about what's enough. How chasing more can be a trap if we don't define our own version of success. This book won't tell you which stock to buy, but it will help you understand why you make the decisions you do and how to make better ones, not just with your money, but with your mindset. The sixth book I picked up is The Five Love Languages by Gary Chapman. This one is all about connection, and it made me realize that love isn't always about the feeling, it's also about the translation. You could be giving love every day, and the other person still might not feel it, simply because you are speaking different languages. The author explains that most of us give and receive love in one or two main ways, what he calls love languages: words of affirmation, gifts, quality time, acts of service, physical touch. What hit me is how often we assume others experience love the same way we do. And when they don't react the way we expect, we feel unheard and unappreciated. But really, we are just speaking different emotional languages. This book isn't complicated, it's actually really easy to read. But the impact it can have on your relationships, your communication, even your past is deep. Whether you are in a relationship, healing from one, or just trying to understand yourself better, this book is like holding up a mirror and finally seeing things clearly. The seventh book I picked up is When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanidhi. This one, it's different. It's not a self help book or something you need to improve your life. It's a memoir written by a neurosurgeon who finds out he has terminal cancer in his 30s. And from that moment, the book becomes this raw, heartbreaking, and beautiful reflection on life, death, and meaning. Paul wasn't just a doctor, he was also a writer, a thinker, a philosopher at heart. And you can feel that on every page. He writes about being on both sides of the hospital bed, first as the one saving lives, and then suddenly as the one losing his. What struck me most wasn't the sadness, though there is plenty of that. It was the clarity. The way he talks about time, identity, and purpose when everything is being taken away. One line that stayed with me is: you can't ever reach perfection, but you can believe in an asymptote toward which you are ceaselessly striving. It's such a quiet but powerful reminder to live fully, not because we have forever, but because we don't. This is the kind of book that stays with you, not loudly but deeply. The eighth book I picked up is Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. This one is a total shift from the rest, and honestly, that's why I chose it. After all the introspection and soul work, I needed something fast paced, cinematic, and absorbing, and this book delivers. The story is wild, there is art, science, religion, conspiracy, and the author somehow weaves it all together in a way that keeps you flipping pages like you are chasing oxygen. But beyond the action, what I really enjoy is how he makes you think about history, power, belief, and how the past quietly shapes the present. It's the kind of book that pulls you out of your world completely, and sometimes that escape is exactly what you need. If you like stories that make your heart race and your brain light up, this is one to dive into. And that's it. 8 books, 8 different journeys. Some of these made me pause and reflect, some shifted how I think, and some just gave me the space to escape and breathe for a while. It's funny how books do that. They meet you exactly where you are without asking anything in return. Thanks for watching, and if you have read any of this or have something to recommend, drop it in the comments. I would love to hear what's on your reading list. Until next time, keep turning pages and take care.